Welcome to this channel, The Structure of Consciousness. The limits of language means the limits of my world. Ludwig Wittgenstein. Ludwig here has given us a challenge. So let's see if we can come up with some solutions to this problem. Language is interwoven into our world, mind, and consciousness. If we believe in God, then we must accept that everything is spoken into existence in the physical world, just like we speak things into existence in the subjective cultural world. It seems we're playing some type of God game, and language is the first tool used from this toolbox. Language, the first cultural operating system, has evolved organically with simplicity as a main driving force. Linguistics recognizes all languages have similar grammar, which implies that they're all connected in some fashion. Noam Chomsky suggests we humans are genetically endowed with a gift of language acquisition from birth. Others believe we mentally and logically construct our language abilities from birth, starting with a blank slate. It's this project's theory that both views are suffering from what I would suggest is a oneness fallacy. Everything has one nature, and both theories are true, along with another theory that aligns with this project. This theory suggests language is trying to solve a multidimensional consciousness puzzle that our minds have a connection with. From this, we can construct an outline or a narrative in support of a collective project called GWC, or Gleam Wisdom Construct Project or Theory. The first cultural operating system emerged complex and evolved towards simplicity and efficiency. It's a linear language. We're living in a Platonic linguistic cave because linear language lacks dimensions. GWC project suggests a more holistic understanding of the world and consciousness, starting with a tripartite view of everything. Linear language does not reveal the multidimensional matrix of possibility or the mindful realm from which language emerges from. Linear language limits our understanding of the physical world. To better understand our physical world and we have created more mathematical disciplines. We don't just have one mathematical disciplines. We have geometry, algebra, trigonometry, all these different disciplines to bring understanding of the physical world. Why can't we create more linguistic disciplines to better understand and mediate the subjective cultural world? Linear language does not offer holistic descriptions, leading to cultural hierarchical systems, manipulation, and logistical enslavement schemes. Language needs to add new disciplines for the human species trajectory to be directed towards the good and away from evil. In the movie Arrival, the aliens knew the human species needed a new language discipline for them to be useful allies in the far-off future. We must adopt the plot of Arrival to avoid the plot of The Matrix. Jesus gave us another language discipline, but we missed it. If we suggest Jesus is answering the Platonist view of the form of what is virtuous with his answer, I am the way, the truth, and the life, linear thought and language suggests he is on one of three correct paths, which is true. But there's another theory. GWC theory suggests these are the three coordinates to the only perfectly virtuous man. This offers humanity another language discipline that turns language into a collective puzzle-solving exercise. GWC theory suggests everything has coordinates and everything is a piece of a multi-dimensional puzzle. And everything starts with a form that has dimensions, and we have to inform the multidimensional structure to give it the dimensions. So this is a basic gleam structure. Bromine rings, or you can think of it as a three-ring Venn diagram. I like to consider it as part of the flower of life. I like to call it a petal of life. And it's my belief that the flower of life was a way for ancients to organize information instead of along linear lines. So they're kind of unique because they're woven together in such a way that if any one ring is missing, the other two are not connected. I like to use the primary colors to primarily to classify information. And, we classify information according to the three principles: harmony, logistics, and existence. Harmony being the red ring, logistics being the yellow ring, and existence being the blue ring. It's interesting also to note that three primary colors when blended together, can create all the colors of the color spectrum. So that's kind of unique too. With limited resources, you can create unlimited output. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Structure of Consciousness. Firstly, we would like to dedicate this channel to discovering and presenting solutions for important things that have been hidden, missed, or ignored in the world. The tool that we utilize to identify missing important things is a modified and monetized language system called Gleam Wisdom Constructs, or GWCs. So let's start by diving into the fascinating and misunderstood world of language, particularly language structure, and explore how Gleam Wisdom Constructs offer a revolutionary improvement over linear language structures. This is important because language is the first and most important cultural operating system, and everything is spoken into existence. Consciousness in the world we inhabit is multidimensional, which requires language to adopt nonlinear structures to organize information if we are going to map our understanding more closely with our world's and its many problems and misunderstandings. So what is a gleam? This is the basic structure that we follow, bromine rings. Gleam is an informed, colored bromine rings or three-ring Venn diagram structure. Gleam Wisdom Construct is a culturally acceptable gleam. Participants build gleams by informing the 7 spaces informed by the 3 rings and their mergers. These 3 rings and then the mergers and then the center. Gleams utilize 3 guiding principles: harmony, logistics, and existence. So here's a question. How would humans' evolutionary trajectory change if language was turned into a multidimensional puzzle-solving exercise instead of an expressive, descriptive, directive system? Much like the movie Arrival suggests, can we improve our futures by changing our language system? Cultural participants often mention how linear language cannot describe comprehensively the world around us or what needs to be done to improve social societal conditions. Language is a cornerstone of communication and understanding, shaping how we perceive, communicate, act, and think in and about the world around us. The thing that societies are missing is that we're not looking at the language structure and first principles as possible solutions to deeper understanding. Traditional linear language structures have long been the norm, but GWCs introduce a different approach that enhances our ability to organize
information and navigate complex concepts using a multi-dimensional structure. Linear language structures. In linear language structures, information is organized sequentially following a linear progression from one point to the next. Words and concepts are arranged in a linear fashion, with sentences forming a linear flow of thought. Linear language structures often lack the flexibility to capture the multidimensional nature of reality, limiting our ability to explore complex ideas comprehensively. Linear language is useful when giving directives and limited descriptions, which contributes to hierarchical systems, but is not compatible with freedom and holistic thinking. Also, linear structures may struggle to accommodate the interconnectedness of concepts and the dynamic relationships between them. Gleam Wisdom Constructs, GWCs, a multi-dimensional language structure. GWCs, or Gleam Wisdom Construct language structures, represent a paradigm shift in from linear to multi-dimensional organization of information. Instead of a linear progression, Gleam Wisdom Constructs utilize colored bromine rings or Venn diagram to organize information across several distinct spaces. Each space corresponds to a different aspect of knowledge or actions, creating a multi-dimensional framework for understanding. The three primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, or respective, represents the first principles: logic, harmony, and existence, respectively. Utilizations of Gleam Wisdom Constructs. The outer spaces are filled with nouns or things. That's like this area here, and this area down here, where there's no mergers. The three outer, these are the causes of activities. Mergers, the verbs are represented in these single merger spaces, represent verbs or actions. The three spaces created by the merging of any two colored rings are informed with verbs or actions, illustrating the dynamic relationships between aspects of knowledge and action. Center space, that's here, is the subject matter. The center space, formed by the merger of all three colored rings in the center, is informed with subject matter, providing a comprehensive understanding of the topic at hand. By utilizing GWC spaces, we can capture the multidimensional nature of concepts, exploring their interconnectedness, navigating complex ideas with ease. This approach enhances our ability to communicate effectively, making information-informed decisions, and addressing challenges in a holistic manner. This language system requires collective participation and inclusion. By adopting GWC structures and its principles, we can change language into a collective puzzle-solving exercise and start dismantling hierarchical systems by creating decentralized decision-making systems. Also, generative AI would be much more compatible if it's connected to a puzzle-solving exercise instead of a descriptive directive exercise. Join us as we delve deeper into the world of Gleam Wisdom Constructs, GWCs, and explore how this innovative language structure is transforming the way we transforming the way we understand and interact in the world around us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insight into the power of GWCs. Thank you.
Now let's get into a little more substance. Mystery of language and a new language discipline. Understanding Gleam Wisdom Constructs in the Matrix of Possibilities. Today we're going to dive deep into the revolutionary concept of understanding language with Gleam Wisdom Constructs, or GWCs. This model will introduce you to a multidimensional theory of language that emerges from a mindful realm called the matrix of possibilities. This matrix holds within it the axis of harmony, logistics, and existence, each of which plays a critical role in how we think, speak, while we collectively and individually make sense of the world. So this diagram here shows how it's a 3D space that drives language. That's where language emanates from. The yellow axis goes through time. The blue axis goes in time, the present, and the red axis goes with time, which has, in other words, everything has a relationship to everything else in and through time. The matrix of possibilities. Imagine a vast three-dimensional mind realm, a space teeming with information and structure. We call this space the matrix of possibilities. Within it there are three main axes that govern everything we perceive and conceptualize. So this is a mind matrix. Harmony, XY axis, the principles of balance and relational alignment, represented by the red axis. This aspect of time recognizes and respects everything within time and generates ethical language. Logistics, YZ axis, the realm of structure, process, and efficiency, represented by the yellow axis. This aspect of time recognizes everything through time and generates temporal language. Existence, the very foundation of being and material reality. This is represented by the blue axis. This aspect of time recognizes everything in time and generates descriptive language. Everything in the matrix of possibilities is informed by these three principles: harmony, logistics, and existence. This is the space from which language emanates as humans tap into this vast field of potential to give shape to their ideas, emotions, and experiences, which we express through language. The limitations of linear language. Linear language, our everyday way of speaking and writing, can navigate these three-dimensional matrix, 3D dimensional matrix, but it doesn't fully illuminate the whole. Thinking of it like a narrow flashlight in a vast room, dark room. You can see certain parts clearly, but much of the complexity and depth remains in the shadows. Why? Because linear language follows a sequential one-dimensional structure. It arranges words and sentences in a step-by-step format, but it struggles to capture the interconnectedness and multidimensional relationships between concepts that exist in a matrix of possibilities. Introducing Aristotle's four causes. But I'd like to add a fifth cause. To understand how the matrix of possibilities gives rise to language, let's begin with the concept of Aristotle, his theory of four causes. Traditionally, these causes explain why things are the way they are, but for our purposes, we are going to show how these four causes, plus a fifth we've added, map into the GWC's multidimensional framework. These causes form the basis for the first cultural operating system, language. Material cause, existence. This corresponds with the blue ring or the blue plane. The axis of existence. The material cause tells us what something is made of, the substance, the matter that compose reality. that composes reality. Formal cause, logistics. This is tied to the yellow ring, representing logistics. The formal cause is a blueprint or structure that shapes something's essence. Symmetry cause, harmony. This one I added. Our added cause corresponds to the red ring, and that is symmetry, related to the plane of harmony. Symmetry deals with low balance and alignment, guided by the way things come together harmoniously. Efficient cause, process and actions. This is represented by the three merger spaces by the intersection of any two rings, red and blue and yellow, and red and yellow. The efficient cause is the energy force that drives actions and changes. Changes is a cause. When things change, it causes more actions. Final cause, purpose or subject matter. The final cause is related to the central space where all three rings merge. It answers a question of purpose, what something is for, or its ultimate goal. So GWC takes these three ancient causes and expands them into four causes, and expands them into the three-dimensional framework, allowing us to understand the full complexity of language as it emerges from the matrix of possibilities. And like I said, we added a fifth cause. Now let's dive into the GWD structure itself. The model is made up of three interlocking rings. Each one represents one of the three principles: harmony, logistics, and existence. These three rings create 7 distinct spaces where language organizes itself. The three outer spaces, these represent nouns or things. That's these three outer sections here where there's no mergers. The three outer spaces represent nouns or things, corresponding with the three fundamental causes: material, blue; formal, yellow; symmetry, red. These outer spaces contain the building blocks of knowledge or core elements of understanding. Three mergers, efficient cause. And there's three of those also. These correspond with actions or verbs that arise when two principles interact. For example, when harmony and existence merge, you have a dynamic relational processes. The center space, this is a core. The subject matter, purpose of the final cause, where all three principles, harmony, logistics, and existence, converge into the multidimensional understanding. Moving beyond linear, GWC is a multidimensional language system. Here's where things get exciting. Traditional linear language only lets us describe a single thread or information, one sentence at a time, but the Gleam Wisdom construct enables us to operate in a much more complex, multi-dimensional system. With GWC's, cultural participants fill in the 7 spaces with collective knowledge. This transforms language into a puzzle-solving exercise where multiple viewpoints and pieces of information come together, illuminating the entire matrix of possibilities. The limitations of linear language, its inability to capture nuances and complexity and interconnectedness, are overcome with the GWC model. It accounts for the full dimensionality of human understanding. The future of language. Decentralized decision making. Now, how does this model apply to real world decision making? Linear language systems create hierarchical systems because current language systems often lead to top-down dimension making or decision making, where control is centralized. But GWCs offer a new possibility, one of decentralized collective decision making, where GWC language discipline creates a puzzle solving exercise that requires collective participation. In a world guided by GWC principles, every participant contributes to the whole. Filling in one or more of the 7 spaces, decisions are made based on a full understanding of the multi-dimensional puzzle, taking into account harmony, ethics and relationships, logistics, feasibility and progress, and existence, material and reality. This decentralized system of decision-making can foster more inclusive, holistic solutions to complex global challenges. Conclusion: the power of GWCs in the matrix of possibilities. In summary, GWC theory in the matrix of possibilities reveals that language is not just a tool for expression. It's a complex, multidimensional structure that illuminates the full scope of human understanding. By incorporating the axes of harmony, logistics, and existence, and building on Aristotle's 4+1 causes, GWC transforms how we approach language and decision making. Through collective participation in the multidimensional structure of GWCs, we can move beyond the limitations of linear language. We open up a new possibilities of decentralized decision making, creating a world where we can understand not just the parts, but the whole of reality. Thank you for joining this exploration of GWC, Gleam Wisdom constructs in the matrix of possibilities. Let's work together and build a future where language and decision making are guided by a full richness of multidimensional understanding. If implemented, this is the possibility of turning governance upside down, where the people govern and create their own decision-making platform, and government officials are contractors doing the will of the people. Thank you for your time.